Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick break and talk about our sponsors for the month, AMP Agency. AMP is a full-service digital marketing agency that specializes in tour, rental, and destination marketing.
We would not have sponsors on the show if we could not vouch for them ourselves. AMP Agency does a bunch of stuff for Destiny Water Adventures personally. I 100% vouch for this guy. I've handed them over to other companies in the past before they officially became a sponsor, and they have had nothing but great things to say. If you guys are doing your own marketing and doing a piss poor job of it, do yourselves a favor. Hand yourselves over to AMP Agency, specifically Steve Edwards, their CEO, will call you personally and have a great conversation with you about what you guys need to do for your marketing.
Listen, guys, they do pretty much everything in digital marketing. Website development, maintenance, Google AdWords, PPC, graphic design, social media management, SEO, and a myriad of other things. When you choose a marketing company, it's so important to choose a company that knows your industry. And AMP Agency knows activity marketing, especially water sports and tours. They got a promo going for Awkward Watersport Guy listeners for their managed websites. Use promo code Awkward Podcast when you go to amp.agency. Again, that's amp.agency, promo code Awkward Podcast. You get 3 months free and get started with AMP Agency. All right, guys, let's get back to the show.
I'm going to crunch and munch on this one.
Crunch and munch?
Yeah, having a little graham cracker. Yeah. Graham cracker. Now that I know it's unedited, I'm going to say everything I want. Look at political.
Do you like s'mores?
Do I like what?
S'mores.
Oh, I didn't, but now I do.
Why did you all of a sudden like s'mores?
I don't know, man. We went camping like last month, and I was crushing some s'mores. They were good. Yeah, I like s'mores.
So I don't do s'mores anymore. I don't do the chocolates. I do Reese's peanut butter cups instead. That's the hack.
That's the hack?
So that is the hack.
I don't like marshmallows traditionally. Like I hate Peeps.
Oh yeah, Peeps. I used to like Peeps, but I don't like Peeps anymore. It's just too sugary.
How about caramel
You get sick
corn?
eating one. No.
It's like the grossest candy ever. Like I would just take that straight to the trash when I was a kid.
So when your kids bring back their Halloween candy, what are like the pieces that you eat from them? Like I'll pick at all of it. I always take Snickers, Milky Way, and Reese's. Like by the next morning, they're probably all going to be gone. I'm going to eat them all. And they don't really they want like the sugary gummy bears, like the fruity, sugary gummy snacks. Like they don't really care for the chocolate as much. So
I like it all. Sugar has always been my nemesis, and alcohol, and drugs, and cigarettes. If it's bad for you, I love it. That's why I really don't do it, I have to really watch the sugar now that I'm in my 40s,
I'd say I feel a lot better after. I don't drink a lot, but now I drink a hell of a lot less, and I cut out all sugary drinks, and man, I feel so much better. And I've dropped a lot of weight from doing that too, like unnecessary weight. I mean, there was times during the pandemic I would like take down a bottle of wine every other day. Just being cooped up, and man, I had those calories out of super fast. Anyways,
I get bombed and go live on my Facebook.
I think I watched a couple of those videos.
Oh my god!
I bet if I go in your timeline,
Oh yeah, I get bombed on the dock, bombed at home, bombed everywhere.
Well, we're going to be talking today about reviews. TripAdvisor versus Google, or just maybe TripAdvisor and Google. But Kevin and I have slightly different ideas of how, you should be sending your reviews, or sending review solicitation to your customers, whether or not you send those reviews to Google, to TripAdvisor, 50-50, or maybe there's another review source that works better for you. There's a lot to unpack on this conversation because things have changed. TripAdvisor used to be a really great resource for reviews and ranking, and then Viator was acquired, and then now it's kind of a pay-to-play system. Google now is mainly the main source for, I think, most businesses, because people are going to Google to find your business. I mean, people don't go to Google and put in your yourname.com and go directly to it. They're now just putting your name into Google, and then they're clicking your Google My Business or your website direct. So they're going to be seeing your reviews during that flow. So we're going to just have this conversation. I think it's pretty important because most of you are using reservation software with tools to send these review solicitation. I know with WaveRes, we have a whole email template system built in where you can modify those review solicitation emails to send them wherever you want. I know there's other systems that do the same thing. So, Kevin, what do you do? How do you handle your review solicitation? Are you tired of spending countless hours managing your water sport and boat rental reservations manually? Is your current system outdated or doesn't provide the necessary features that your business requires? Hi, I'm Greg Fisher, the CEO of WaveRes, an online reservation software built by operators for operators. With our system, you can offer 24/7 online booking to your customers, allowing them to book and pay for their rentals at their convenience. You can also send SMS notifications to your customers, keeping them updated on their reservation status and any changes that may occur. Custom options and dynamic pricing enable you to offer tailored packages to your customers, helping you stand out from your competitor. Plus, our system integrates with companies like Werewolf Digital Waivers and TripShock, streamlining your operations and ensuring a seamless booking experience for your customers. Our software is the best choice for water sport and boat tour operators as it is designed to cater specifically to your needs. So why waste any more time on manual reservation management? Try WaveRes today and take your business to the next level. For a limited time, mention this ad and receive a $100 credit when you sign up. Check out waveres.com for more info or to schedule a free demo. Now let's get back to the show.
Can I buy featured placement on TripShock?
You can, yes.
What does that do for me?
It gives you more exposure. In turn, brings you more business.
It's like right at the top of the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
What are you getting at?
I'm saying that if you filter, and whether it be difficult or not, if you filter on TripAdvisor for outdoor activities, I come in as number one, top of the page, baby, right at number one. And okay. I give them like higher, if they want me, if I want to be in the carousel, I do all that stuff, man. Like, look, my point. Listen, so of all transparency, unfortunately, we recorded this podcast once before, and we got plagued by it. So Greg and I actually had sort of like a contentious debate about, because Greg was like, the TripAdvisor doesn't matter anymore, and you were getting that reviews don't matter anymore, and I disagree. I disagree as much as I have to even disagree with my previous stance on Yelp and saying that Yelp doesn't matter. Same thing. So I can advertise on Yelp, or I could just be number one on Yelp. I'm not, because historically I've ignored Yelp. But if they're look, OTAs are pay to play, period. And you get more exposure on those brands if you pay higher commission, if you do things like featured placement, and TripAdvisor / Viator happens to give you a little bit more exposure if you're at the top of the heap, if you're number one in your category. So like, I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do it all. And so if there's a wide delta between myself and number two, then I'm not sending reviews there. If there's somebody gaining traction on me, I'm going to send reviews there. Now, one could make the argument that you are basically asking people to sign up for your competitor in the Google ad space or whatever. But that's the only place that they're my competitor. And obviously they use other of my competitors in that whole flow or whatever. But I feel like the retention game is pretty bad for OTAs regardless. So I'm going to win in that, in the comment that I made to you, like, to further dunk on you even more on this subject. I want to be number one everywhere I go, man. I want to be the best. I want to be looked at as the best everywhere, where anybody sees my name. Okay,
so how many organic bookings do you get from TripAdvisor? Like people going to your TripAdvisor listing and booking with you?
That's difficult. That's a hard thing to say.
Okay.
Because what if they're going to? You don't get organic lists. You don't get organic bookings.
Exactly. You don't get any.
Right, but you definitely get social you still get brand recognition. It still says Destiny Water Adventures. And if they see that I'm the number...
How many people walk up and say, man, we booked you because you were number one on TripAdvisor?
How many people walk up and say, man, we booked you because you're number one on Google? Nobody says that. Nobody says anything.
Well, you know
like
that you know that because you can track it.
Sure, but how do you know that that the first click didn't happen on TripAdvisor and then they went to direct to the website post TripAdvisor?
Yeah, you don't know. That's what I'm saying is that on Google, you send people to Google to leave reviews and build your profile up, build your exposure up on Google. You can actually see the results through tracking. Where we're making now, I will say there's a billboard effect of being on OTAs that you're going to get direct business, but you just can't track that. So why make an effort on TripAdvisor?
Just because it can't be tracked?
I mean, 5 years ago, the argument was there. You could someone made a comment on Facebook that you could put UTM parameters in there to actually track, the revenue from TripAdvisor. But now let me ask you this. Is TripAdvisor an OTA?
Yeah, they're an OTA.
Are they?
And I also have... Yeah, and there might be competition in that realm too, and they might be booking on. They might book on TripAdvisor because they want to book on TripAdvisor. So who are you going to book if you're in a place? If you're inside of TripShock, who would you suggest that the customer book from? Podcast partners aside.
Wait, I didn't understand the question.
If you were inside of your own website, what would you base your decision on?
Well, your decision is going to be based on your placement, and your placement has to do with your reviews and your recent bookings, reviews, recent bookings. I mean, reviews are a small piece of the algorithm on TripShock.
You, the customer. If you're inside of a marketplace, if you're buying something on Amazon.
So here's the thing. Our algorithm is probably very similar to Amazon, TripAdvisor, and we've actually similar setup that they do on TripShock. So TripShock, there's 5 main data points that we use. We use how many bookings have you gotten recently, what the conversion rate from viewing your listing and converting, your review score, and I'm forgetting the last one. But review count and review score, even though they're part of the algorithm, they're some of the smallest. Conversion rate and recent bookings are the 2 main factors we use. Because if everyone's looking at a listing and then they're not converting, then that's a big indication that something's wrong with the product or it doesn't appeal to the wider audience. But I'm just saying, yes, reviews are gonna help, but from a marketplace standpoint, we're looking for products that give us a good return. They're highly converted products. Reviews help sell. But from a marketplace standpoint and TripAdvisor standpoint, they're looking at commission. They're looking at, is it products even selling? Yeah, they can have a ton of reviews, but that product could not be something that sells through OTAs, especially higher end items too that are $500 plus per booking, which don't really sell well through OTAs.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Are you going to answer my question? You never answered my question.
What is your question? I'm trying to understand your question.
A customer on TripShock,
yeah.
What are going to make you? What are you going to choose your activity based on?
I mean, there's a lot of items. I mean, you want me to say reviews? You want me to say that, but I'm going to tell you.
I know because
I'm going to tell you that
I lose the argument because you know I'm right.
You want me to say reviews, but listen. So let's say you have 1,000 reviews, right? And you're the 10th listing, you will not get seen. You will not get any bookings. You'll get a handful. But if you are the 10th, we have listings that have a lot of reviews that over time they've stopped giving us inventory and they've been pushed way down and they still get bookings because of those reviews. But it's the ones with a lot less reviews, but have higher conversion rate that get placed. From a marketplace standpoint, you're always going to be put more preference based on how well your product sells. Reviews help sell that, but from a marketplace standpoint, we're not going to go heavy on the reviews.
So then you're saying on TripShock, then you're saying reviews and the placement where you're at in the heap matters a lot.
Yeah. If you have 100 reviews and you're listed number 1 and you have 1,000 reviews and you're listed number 10, the first listing is going to get a majority of the bookings.
Well, thank you for coming over to my side, man, and just completely making my fucking argument for me. That's all.
No, I don't.
Why wouldn't I not want to be number 1 on TripAdvisor?
But you're saying that reviews are the only reason that you get listed number 1 on TripAdvisor.
And the organic side, 100%. I have 77 or whatever it is, 100 different listings. On the organic TripAdvisor, I'm number 1 in my market, period. So if you go to the pay-to-play side and I'm paying a higher commission, number one. If you go to the organic side, if you Google Destiny Water Adventures reviews, after Destiny Water Adventures Google, TripAdvisor, the first thing that comes up. And it brings you to brings you to my organic listing where I am number one.
So here's where I'm going to destroy your argument. All right. So you just told me before that the number one ranking you have on TripAdvisor, you cannot track it, right?
What do you mean I can't track it?
You can't track the revenue generated from those efforts, those reviews, that ranking. You can't. All right. But if you build up your Google My Business, you can actually get data from analytics from your conversion tracking. You can see as you build your Google My Business profile up, you can actually see the revenue generated from it. We know that most of the reviews that you're soliciting and you're getting, you know that people are going to Google to find your business more so than they are going to TripAdvisor.
My argument is not one or the other. I'm not saying treat.
I know that
TripAdvisor with preference. I'm saying don't ignore it. And if you have a possibility to climb through the ranks in that, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you place yourself in a competitive marketplace at a strategic advantage where if anyone does a little bit more due diligence other than price, that they see that you're the number one result on TripAdvisor on the organic side, or that you're highly reviewed. And
I'm not saying you're going to get reviews from TripAdvisor regardless, even if you don't even solicit. So you will. I'm saying that if you want to be part of TripAdvisor, then sign up with Viator and build through Viator, through their pay to play, because that's the route that they've been going in. You're going to get reviews on your TripAdvisor listing organically, but your Google reviews are what matters.
I mean,
I just don't.
I wouldn't from there.
You're not. But
the petition for 0 reviews on TripAdvisor. If you're using that platform, if TripShock had an open review system, I would petition for reviews on TripShock. I would.
Well, I'm not petitioning 0 reviews. You're going to get reviews organically. I'm petitioning to not send any of your customer. I would not send any of my customers to TripAdvisor to leave reviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of metrics. Maybe not the metrics that you want to see. Like, are they coming directly from TripAdvisor? But look, and I said the same thing in my response to you in this. It was that if you were looking at Destiny Water Adventures, the brand. Okay, let's just say, for example, and I guess there's no way to prove this beyond a shadow of a doubt, but there's a lot of things you can't prove through traditional marketing. Look, Steve makes the same marketing. The argument of like top of funnel on Facebook doesn't work. And like, listen, I agree. And without actually having the metrics in front of you, you're right. You can't prove that a billboard is positive ROI. You can't prove that a TV commercial is positive ROI. You can't also prove that word of mouth provides positive ROI, or that people telling their friends. I can't measure that metric. I don't have a bill metric inside of my analytics that I can go like, oh, Bill gave us another referral. But from a top-down marketing campaign or strategy, like, I agree. Like, I'm not going like door to door to, hand out hand flyers, but there's still direct mailer systems in certain businesses that still work for people. And it's very hard to track. It's not as though like, people are like entering that in right or writing it down. My point being is that if somebody comes to TripAdvisor and they're dead set, or maybe they're going like, I don't know what I want to do. I kind of would like to get a jet ski. They don't know what Crab Island is. They don't know what a boat rental is, but they want a jet ski, right? And there's me, competitor B, C, D, or whomever that's offering jet skis, right? Now, not only am I going to get top billing because I'm paying commission, or because I'm going to always get top billing against an organic listing on TripAdvisor if I'm paying a commission, especially when they're going to list my shit on that person's organic page. Like, I'm not a fan of TripAdvisor. Let's go back to episode 2 here. I'm just saying, like, I don't have to be. If somebody comes in there and they're already set on jet ski, they don't need much more social proof other than my preference, the fact that I'm a partner with TripAdvisor, and then what's going to slam dunk them? 278 or 300 or whatever it is we have 5-star positive reviews, and the number one listing. They might not even know I rent boats or kayaks or anything else. All they know is that they want a jet ski. They can book it through TripAdvisor, and I'm the highest rated and reviewed in that marketplace.
Also, veering away from this topic just a little bit, talking about TripAdvisor exactly. So I would never tell my partners on TripShock to tell their customers to book on TripShock their experience or go to TripShock to book them. I would never say that. However, with TripAdvisor now, that's what is happening by sending people to TripAdvisor to leave reviews. It's actually benefiting TripAdvisor greatly because they go to leave a review and then they see, oh, I can actually, this is a marketplace now. It's more than just reviews. I can book and sell. So are we not actually, like one of our comments on Facebook was, aren't we feeding the beast, quote unquote, by propping up their platform? So more people are encouraged to go there to read reviews, but also now they're going to be solicited to make reservations instead of before. They might have gone to Google instead. Are we creating?
Where are they coming back to, Greg? Don't make that argument when you know that the retention is so bad. You know the retention's horrible. Yeah. You know they're going to
it is a retention.
And then what? They're going to fucking go back to TripAdvisor to book that next year? Or are they going to come to me? Get out of here. That's not.
But they might. But they're going to go to they're going to go to TripAdvisor to read reviews. Essentially getting caught up in their funnels to go back to their marketplace. That's what I'm seeing.
Sounds like instead anti-OTA.
And instead, I'm a realist when it comes to this. Like I'm very pro OTA, but what they're doing, they're creating this platform that is supposed to be about reviews, but we know it's not about reviews anymore, not with tours and activities. It's more about selling tours, which I get. They got a really awesome channel, and I think that was phenomenal of them to acquire Viator. I think it's like the perfect fit. However, I think that more businesses are feeding them right now and continuing this instead of send them to Google, where Google is objective to any OTA, right? So if every business started sending more to Google, then TripAdvisor would have to actually work at being an OTA instead of creating this false narrative about being a review site, which really they're a marketplace for selling tours and activities. Kevin, they're top 10. It's not effective as it was before. Greatly.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying that it still is effective to that point. And to your point, I can go into the services section of a GMB and get TripShock listings. In fact, there's some operators that don't even know that they can have direct bookings through their own GMB, and fucking their GMB is a fucking pass through for OTAs because they don't have their direct booking set up on it. So fuck Google too. Get out of here, man. And they give you guys preferential treatment through the fucking carousel and through content when people are searching. Try and get your personal shit up in that carousel. It is a daunting process to get listed in that Google thinks to do carousel unless you're working with an OTA, which is another reason. You've said it yourself. I know where I'm at on certain things, and I know where I get a ton of visibility and brand recognition. And look, man, if that comes from that thing I will never break into, like I will probably never break the top 10 on things to do. But I exist there, and I exist there in perpetuity as long as I pay to play and as long as I give all of my shit to you guys and TripAdvisor and everybody else. And and there I am. And maybe I get some organic bookings from it because they see Destiny Water Adventure, or maybe I pay the 20-25%. But the point being, though, is if I'm not active with my partnerships, if I don't do the little things I do, give you preferential treatment in summer to say, and then block them the fuck out for July or give them very little treatment. It's like we all have to work together in this ecosphere. I don't think it's right that partners block you out in July. I don't think that's a fair partnership at all. You know, like you get us bookings all year round, and then we're just going to take that 100% of the time. Like, it's not. I don't know. I do both. I do both. Open up reviews, and I'll send them to TripChalk. I promise.
So just speaking that real quick. Yeah, I mean, we're getting into an OTA conversation, which we won't go on. But yeah, I mean, if you limit OTAs during peak season, then expect to be limited in the off season when you need the business. So just a general OTA practice, I don't care what you think about them, but if you do not treat them right and you close them out, I mean, they have tools. They got people who know that your business does things like that. And when you are, you know, when you're in a situation where you're more desperate for bookings, and we might be in one in 2024, you know, you're not going to be at the top of the list when there's opportunities, you know, to get more exposure. Kevin, you know, you and a lot of other businesses. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, like, we're not like in the summer, some companies, they say they're slam busy for 90 days straight. You're not slam busy for 90 days straight. Maybe some of you are, very few of you are, but you're going to have inventory available on some days that you could potentially give to OTAs just to keep the relationship going, and you don't shut it down completely. But it's a give and take. It's a partnership, like you said. It's not a partnership if you just take and not give. It's good. It is good
business. And I don't listen. I fucking hate Viator. Like, I hate TripAdvisor. Look, if you want to see somebody catching some guff at Arival this year, like, go check me out when I go over there and start hemming up TripAdvisor and Viator and telling them like how little value and terrible customer service and everything they provide. What did I say to them last year? I was like, you guys got a t-shirt? And they're like, oh no, those boxes are going blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, surprise. TripAdvisor skipping on giving stuff away. Big shocker. The lady just looked at me like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Fuck you. But look, I don't, for me, this isn't a dog fight. Like, you know, like, yes, send your reviews to Google. I think that if Google, and on the last episode I bitched about it, but if Google gave your reviews, like, I might be more inclined to, I don't know, not be jaded about the reviews on Google because they don't give, I mean, we talked about this on the last time, but I think the amount of weight that they're giving to it is not nearly what they give to the name of the business listing versus how close you are in proximity to that business. I feel like there should be more weight given to the reviews, and it's kind of frustrating because as a person who has a probably 6-to-1 ratio of Google reviews against TripAdvisor reviews, so just so we're clear here, yes, Google above all else, it's frustrating because I don't get pushed up in the algorithm. Like, at least with TripAdvisor, regardless of how much organic traffic you get from it, how much they push to your organic listing, at least I get a hashtag #, whatever you want to call it, #1 next to my organic listing that says, hey, I'm the best in this market. With Google, unless I'm KevinPontoonRentals.com and I'm within 5 miles, I don't get that same preferential treatment. I don't get pushed up in the map pack because I have, you know, almost 2,000 reviews on that site. It's frustrating. So I get from both ends, you know, I get it. But yes, prioritize Google. I agree with Greg on that. I guess we're not going to come to a middle on this, but if you feel like you can overtake the #1 spot in TripAdvisor, you're getting a lot of bookings through TripAdvisor, and you have a lot of competition on TripAdvisor, I'll never lay off of it. I feel like you having that #1 spot means something to some of those people that are booking.
All right, we'll leave it there. But again, guys, our conference, watersportpodcast.com. Get your tickets so we can have great conversations like this.
Spirited.
This would be just spirited, yes. And, you know, sometimes it's good to really just dive in and have a good debate. But watersportpodcast.com, get your tickets and come see us in October.
Yeah, October 9th,
as always,
actually.
October 9th, thanks. Absolutely. Well, as always, guys, keep it awkward, and we'll see you next time.